So we have behind me a beautiful blank canvas of this retaining wall that we're about to build. And as with most things, if you take things just, let's say 15, 20% further, you can take what would have been ordinary and turn it into something that just makes your jaw drop. And that's really what I'm going to try to do with this project. I've been spending the last couple of days thinking and sketching and rethinking and resketching and making plans. And I have something that, while ambitious, really would make this outdoor space that we're building here feel more like a living room outdoor. Just feel like that space that you want to spend all of your time outside rather than inside, which with this property obviously is the goal. It's hard to see here, but you may notice that there's a little bit of a carving back into the mountain here. That's because Andrea came back yesterday for a couple more hours to clean things up a little bit before we get started, as well as carve into the mountain a little bit more for what currently looks like a mini cave for that very special project that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So if you've seen our videos before, you would have seen us building this room extension I'm standing next to by taking all of the stone that we jackhammered out of the mountain here and then hand chiseling it and slowly building up that room. But that is what we're gonna be doing for this wall. We have a massive pile of stone. We need to hand chisel all of that. It's gonna take some time. And what I've learned is how important a proper solid base is at the right height. And actually, it was a comment on one of those previous videos, a suggestion that one of you guys gave me of taking a rain barrel, preferably a metal one, which I don't really have, and filling it up with all of the crushed up debris, maybe some sand, and making a really solid, firm base to set your stones on as you're chiseling them. So really quick, I wanted to show you the tools that I'm using, as they're all handmade by our local blacksmith in town. So I went to his shop earlier today because I needed a couple of new points because mine broke. And while he did offer to repair the old ones, I thought I'd go ahead and pick up a few extra anyways. But then I grabbed this hammer as well as a new hammer. And just to see that all of these are handmade right here in town, and to be able to watch the process, because I hung out for maybe a good half an hour afterwards and just kind of watched him make some tools, and it was really inspiring, and it really makes me want to spend a proper day or two with him to learn a few things as well as build a few custom items for the house. His shop is incredible, and I think if I brought a real camera, not just my cell phone, and took some videos, I think you guys would be really interested in that process as well. these corner pieces, the cornerstones, are exceptionally difficult to do. I'm still learning how to do it, but unfortunately, for that surprise area in the middle there, we need a ridiculous amount of cornerstones. Well, the good news is that we do not need to build a foundation for this wall at all, as the rock, the mountain in the ground itself will be the foundation, but there's a lot of work to clean it off and get it ready to start building the wall. So just like when we built the new room, the first day is really about preparation, drawing out your lines, finalizing your designs, measuring things out, putting out your guidelines. And then the second day is when things start rocking and rolling. And I think after a couple hours of messing around here, I think we're pretty close to having all of our measurements finalized and the design close to finalized for that very special surprise right in the center of the wall. I especially love this perspective, as you can kind of get the full scale of just how big this project is in comparison to the house and how much space we've added by digging into the mountain. I know you can't really see the edge here, but we've added just a ton of space. Alza un po', basta. Well, it's well after dark here. We did manage to get all of our lines in place, all of the measurements right. It's been a long day, but we'll pick up starting with the wall tomorrow. Well, yesterday was primarily about getting all of our measurements and all of our lines in place. These are our guidelines that we will line the stones up to. With the wall, every meter that we go up in height, we're pushing it back 10 centimeters, so it's sloped at an angle just to hold them out in place, which we really have no concerns over this going anywhere because of the type of stone and earth that's here. But just to be safe, we're making sure to follow protocols. And then these lines in particular took many hours to get right, but it's gonna help out a lot. An annoying but necessary part is to really clean off this base foundational stone as much as possible, and then to wash it to get all of the leftover dust away to make sure that our concrete base adheres really well to the stone foundation. Just taking a quick break to remind you of the importance of protecting your personal data online, so allow me to tell you about today's video sponsor, Delete Me. I'm sure you're very familiar with those annoying spam phone calls and those phishing emails. Well, that's a sign that your personal information is out there on the web for people to take advantage of, and that not only puts you at risk for scams, but also identity theft. When we first started using Delete Me, their privacy experts found hundreds of listings of our personal data online, and then they got to work having it all removed, and now they continually monitor the web, making sure more information doesn't pop up. To me, it's crazy, a little nerve-wracking that there are data brokers out there who are gathering all of your personal information from sites like social media sites, government websites, and more, gathering things like your personal address, your phone number, even your social security number, packaging up all that information and selling it to other data brokers, companies, even scammers, or anyone who might want your information. But when you sign up for Delete Me, you'll get a privacy report within 7 days showing where all of your information is listed public, and then they'll go to work having it all removed for you. These days, protecting your personal information is more important than ever, but once your information is out there, it's very difficult to rein things back in, and that's why I'm glad we have Delete Me. And right now, if you also want to join Delete Me, you can get 20% off by going to joindeleteme.com/Voyagers or by using our coupon code Voyagers. So take control of your personal information today, and thank you so much to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video. It's been so long since I've been able to shape stone. We've been busy with other projects inside, and I really just wanted to save this outdoor project for this time of year because the weather is just my favorite this time of year. A little bit colder for most people, but I love it. I'd rather be working out when it's just a little bit on the colder side because I'm still sweating no matter what temperature it is. But it's just, I can't quite explain it. Like, it's really, really good for the soul to be out here shaping stones. There's just something about it that is just so peaceful, relaxing, and just kind of fills you up, especially as we see this wall start to come up and start to take shape.
Vabbè dai, vabbè, grazie, ciao. Dopo bianchi. Scendi le alpini, lo liscio l'acqua da un basso amaro.
So admittedly, I feel like I've done a fairly terrible job filming or at least describing what we're doing today, as it's very easy to get sucked into the process of shaping the stones. There's just something about it that, aside from the brutality on your back and your muscles, that it's just so peaceful once you get into it. Very satisfying of chipping away that stone and taking a raw piece of stone and shaping it into a beautiful stone brick. When we were digging back here, we weren't exactly sure how far down to dig based on what we needed with the foundation and a few other things. So unfortunately, we dug a little bit too much. So we need to fill it all back in with loose stones. We're taking all of the ugly stones that would take too much time to shape into beautiful face stones, chucking them in there, piling on some extra dirt and debris, and of course concrete, and mixing it all together to fill that space back up. Well, there's not another skill that I'm in the process of learning that I'm more excited about than how to shape this stone. I learned so much when we were building the original room here and was just really kind of blown away by the process of taking raw stone that doesn't really look like much and shaping it into a uniform wall, and also by the speed at which they work here. And then there's little old me struggling to keep up with everyone. But there's just nothing more that gets me more excited working on this property than shaping the stone. Wow, you really can see it all coming together, and with this piece right here in the center, that little surprise we're working on, man, that's just gonna, you can see how it's gonna come up straight, but the rest of the wall will angle away, and it's just looking fantastic. I hope you're as excited about this process as I am, because, you know, it's gonna be a couple of weeks. This is a big project, but I can't wait to show you guys, especially what we're building in that center. And I think in our next video, it's gonna become obvious what it is. If you wanna leave a comment down below with your guess, go for it, but I'll tell you what it is next week. Non è tanto bello, ma passa per un angolo.
Va
Quasi,
bene.
quasi.
Ah, ma va bene.
Non è male per un americano.
Non è male.
Well, that's a wrap for this week. Very thrilled with the progress. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but it's going really, really fast. I'm going to sign off here, go take a shower, and we will see you guys next week.